My research project in India was about postnatal depression among mothers in the rural and semi-urban communities in the region that I was currently studying in the South. And my project attempted to address some of the perceptions of depression within the communities, as well as identify risk factors and measure the prevalence of postnatal depression in the region. Some of the methods that I used were both qualitative and quantitative. I used in-depth interviews, participatory observations, and focus group discussions for the qualitative component of the project. And then I did a much more qualitative approach in terms of going door to door with a survey and a screening tool in order to measure women at risk and also identify and associate risk factors. It was a really interesting experience, and I'm so glad that I had the experience before doing my thesis, because I learned how to be flexible in the field. You spend time in a classroom developing a project, and then it doesn't always work out the way that you expect it to once you're in the field, and you learn how to address challenges. Some of the challenges that I faced were working with a translator, gaining access to the communities, and talking about a topic that was very sensitive in nature and that sometimes our participants weren't comfortable discussing in groups among each other, and also being able to interview people in a private setting without a lot of onlookers. Those were all obstacles that we faced in the field and that we tried to address on the fly. And it was a really useful experience in terms of developing a research project right from the beginning and following it through all the way to the end of analyzing the data and presenting your recommendations for future programs, and also for future follow-up research. So it was a really useful tool, and I'm really glad that I did it prior to the thesis process.